Here's why I hate Etsy. Maybe you recently saw my TikTok that went viral and got over 140,000 views. It created a lot of controversy and comments. Basically, in that video, I told people why Etsy doesn't really care about their sellers. And there were very passionate opinions on both sides of the issue. But really, how this all kicked off was on April 11th, 2022, Etsy changed their terms of service with their sellers. And sellers weren't too happy about it. They went on strike for a week. The most notable thing that sellers were upset with was the fact that Etsy increased their transaction fee from 5% all the way up to 6.5%. And I got a lot of flack on that TikTok video because I thought that transaction fee included the 3-ish% processing fee for a credit card. No, it did not. That's in addition to the transaction fee. So not only do you have to pay even more to be on a platform that I consider inferior in every way to having your own shop on Shopify or Squarespace, but you also are not going to get any of the benefits of having your own shop. So let's look at a few of the reasons why I hate Etsy that goes beyond just the fees. We have to talk about the fees though a little bit. So Etsy is now charging a 6.5% transaction fee. That means if you sell a product for $100, $6.50 of that immediately goes into Etsy's bank account. 3% of that roughly is going to go into PayPal or Stripe or whoever is the payment processor there. It's going to go into their bank account. So you're already down $9.50 from the sale. On top of that, Etsy is also going to charge sellers who make more than $10,000 a year on their platform, which should be a lot of people because that's the goal. They're going to charge them a 15% advertising and marketing fee that is going to be for Facebook ads, Google ads, etc. off platform. And they're going to run those on your behalf, but you can't opt out of this to my knowledge, and you are going to pay for it dearly with this 15% marketing and advertising fee. Now, what if you're making less than $10,000? Not such a big deal, right? Well, they could still charge you 12% of what you're making for this fee. So it's not the full 15%, but it's still 12%. That's a lot. So right off the bat, just this one sale on Etsy of a $100 product is looking more like $75, which doesn't sound that significant until it starts to add up. Let's say that you are at that $10,000 a year threshold as far as income goes, and your average order value is around $100. That would mean that you are paying $2,500 for every $10,000 you sell directly back to Etsy and their fees and all of that. If you scaled your shop even more and you were at the $100,000 mark, that's $25,000, and we could just keep going with this. So you get the point. But I want you to actually look at this in terms of what else you could get for that money. For example, $2,500 is a really nice semi-custom site on Shopify. $2,500 is also a couple of blog posts pre-written by a good copywriter who will create the posts that are going to continue to bring traffic in for years to come because it's optimized for keywords and search and Google, and so those are going to continue to bring you leads for the foreseeable future. Not only that, but even if we set the fees completely aside, let's just say that Etsy gives you 100% versus your shop that gives you 100%, which again, we have a processing fee no matter where we sell, so there's the 3%. I'm ignoring that for now. If you did that, it's still more valuable to sell on your own site, on your own shop, your own platform than Etsy because you are going to be able to remarket to those people as often and as much as you would like. With Etsy, especially in light of the new changes, you are not allowed to make a sale off platform if someone first found out about you on Etsy. That means that it is now really difficult to grow your email list and to have any kind of remarketing campaign to the customers who originally found you on Etsy. All right, so we have the math, the fees, the remarketing, all the lost prospects from future sales that are happening off-site. A lot to think about already, but one other thing I want you to think about is why this TikTok of mine blew up. And it was because in that video, I told a little story about how I got started in my entrepreneurial journey. And ironically, my first foray into entrepreneurship was selling $2 templates. They were bathroom signs like employees must wash hands, just really pretty clip art and like calligraphy and stuff. That was what I was selling, and I was selling it on Etsy. So that is how my entrepreneurial journey got started. Those were my first digital download products. And I'm super grateful that I did have that platform at the time, just like you have Etsy available here today, even if it wasn't as good as it was back then. But this TikTok went viral because before I sold those bathroom signs, I was a trademark attorney at a large children's toy company straight out of law school. So I got an in-house job, and my job was to protect that company's trademark portfolio from anyone who was misusing it all over the world. And that's what I was doing on Etsy. I was going after people that were using our trademark to sell their wares. And these people had no idea what a trademark was or what could be trademarked, or like that the name of their product listing was actually what they thought was descriptive was actually a trademark. My company didn't own the trademark onesie, but apparently onesie is trademarked. So just as an example, I'm going to use that. So it was as if someone was using the word onesie to describe the kind of products that they were selling. And I, as the trademark attorney, had to go after all these listings and just be like, hey, can't use the word onesie, can't use the word onesie, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, one day I get a letter back from a mom or a grandmother. I don't remember who it was. And I have lots of comments on TikTok were like, oh, it was just a sob story. Like, you totally fell for it, whatever. I have lots of reasons to believe this person was legitimately telling me the truth. And again, I can't get into it because that was a former client, attorney-client privilege. I can't talk about what happened there. But I will say that it broke my heart when I had to tell her, you've got to stop selling your stuff. Like, we have to take it down from a trademark perspective. And the reason you have to stop is because you're using our mark like throughout everything that you're selling. And it truly was like a trademark that you would just use to describe something. And she was like, this is what's helping me pay for my cancer treatment right now. And I was like, oh, this sucks. Like, this job sucks. Whether she was lying and it was a sob story and I totally fell for it or not, the point is that I just didn't like doing this kind of work. I didn't like talking to these small business owners about what they were doing and telling them why it was wrong and being the one who had to explain and coddle them through this process where you can imagine they were pretty upset, scared, afraid, angry, frustrated with me, and it sucked. Fast forward to last week. I made this viral TikTok. It starts going crazy. And one of the things that I had to confront in the comment section and also within myself was, why did this feel so bad to me? Like, why was it that I was a person who was getting paid to do a job out of school that I had worked really hard to get? And yeah, like, someone had a sob story, that's unfortunate, but like, I still felt bad. So like, what was happening there? And I narrowed it down to figure out that like, Facebook and all these other big platforms that have marketplaces, Facebook has a marketplace, Instagram has shopping, they educate their sellers throughout the sign-up process about what is and is not allowed. And it's very simple, but it's just enough so that people aren't putting up these goods that they're gonna get these big, scary legal letters about later. So what really bothered me at the end of the day was that it just feels like Etsy does not care about its sellers. And I know that not just from my experience in this story, but also because every time I've gone on Etsy as a consumer and haven't made a purchase right away, the next time that I log on, what do I see? I don't see the shop that I was just shopping at. I see a new shop. I see something that's related from a different seller, which makes me feel like Etsy really doesn't care about their sellers as much as it does about getting the sale. So personally, this is why I do not recommend Etsy anymore to my clients who are trying to get started. Now, in that comment section of that viral TikTok, a lot of people had some great points, namely that Etsy is a marketplace, not a shop, and you can't compare the two. And that Etsy brings in a lot of traffic for people that aren't good at getting their own traffic yet. I don't disagree with either of those things. I think that's absolutely true. My big beef was just that Etsy doesn't do more to protect its sellers like YouTube would do if I put up a music video that had copyrighted music in it. I definitely stand with the shops that took a strike last week, and I might still be browsing on Etsy, but I'm always going to make a purchase off platform from now on, just because I can't personally support the kinds of things that they're doing to their sellers. I know there's a lot of other people that feel the same way that I do because they were all in my comment section of this 140,000 plus play video. So if you're still on Etsy and you're happy there, that's fine, but just know that you are going to be losing out on sales from people like me that would like to buy from you, but we would rather do it from you personally on your own site and your own shop. And when we think about it, that actually makes a lot more sense for both of us, because if I'm shopping on your site, I probably like what it is that you're selling, and I want to hear about future discounts and promotions that you're doing. I can't get that from Etsy. I'd have to follow you closely, and I just don't have time to do that. But if I come to your site and I sign up for your email list by default, then you are going to be emailing me those future promos, those discount codes, those offers as the year goes on, and continue to make money off of me as a customer. At the end of the day, Etsy is a marketplace and not a shop, and it should be treated accordingly. And if you're ready to get off Etsy and get onto Shopify or Squarespace or a different shop platform, then you'll want to make sure that you check out the video that just popped up on your screen, because I will go into all the different kinds of shop platforms that I recommend. Plus, if you're ready to optimize your Shopify site, I have a great freebie that is my 7 favorite Shopify apps, and this is something that I spent a lot of time putting together for you. That is linked below, so please enjoy.